Hello everyone on the interwebs, my name is Cortec and today we're going to be watching a Starcraft 2 Heart of the Storm replay, a Zerg versus Terran between our blue Zerg in the bottom left corner, Liquid TLO, our famous German Zerg player, and apparently 3 people left the game, versus Empire Cause, our red Terran in the upper right corner. Apparently an observer just decided to just pause for some reason. Apparently he lost his co-caster, and Empirecast is going off to make a supply depot versus this one supply depot. Let's do a quick analysis of the map. We have a not so easy to defend expansion here. Has a big choke point, but you can try and get some troops here, but it's still really hard to defend. And the only third expansion that is viable is this one. It has one entrance without considering this one. If you're a Zerg, you can just creep spread around. If you're a Terran, you can just barricade around here and around here with planetary and turrets and all that, and you're safe. It's not that big of a choke. It's about as big, if not smaller, than this one. But then normally people just take this one expansion in the middle of the map, kind of. You take this one instead of this one as a third, mainly just because it's so easy to access, so easy to attack into. And we're going to see a barracks with a command center first build for Empire Cast. So they're both going really economic. They're both going to go around 15 expansion, especially TLO. TLO is also going for a 15 spawning pool, and of course making those drones. Now Empire Class finally decides to build that barracks. We do see that the Overlord is now arriving at its destination. It is trying to rally, gonna check the expansions when he sees the expansion. He sees the expansion right now. He doesn't see a barracks here. Now sees it, but he knows the barracks was later. The command center was first. Now, Cass is now finishing the building of his gas. He doesn't seem to be building a supply depot anywhere. Maybe I'm missing. No, I'm not. He's gonna be supply block really soon. Just around. Well, TLO's expansion is almost up. There we go. It is up. He's starting to build the queens. He's still not going for gas. I'm just getting a ton of messages here. I better put myself on busy. I keep forgetting to remind myself. Now the cool thing about watching a TLO game, he does some sick creep spreads. He is one of the best Zergs in terms of creep spread around, as far as I've seen. That bunker right there in the middle of this choke is going to be awesome for run-bys. Well, I can just run by here. But still, it's pretty neat. He's starting to send some Zerglings over to Cass's base. He is now building the extractors. And there he is, just making use of those queens while making 2 more queens for that. For the creep spread and the injects. The Zerglings here are going to try and do some scouting, but the bunker here is done. There we go. He destroyed that supply depot, and he tried to close off here. That's way better, because now you have to go all the way around, and if bunker is there, the Zerglings just die before they get there. Now the barracks is going to switch with the factory really soon. We're probably going to see some Hellions pump out, maybe some Widow Mines, but probably Hellions. That creep spread is starting to progress really nicely, as usual. And there we go. That switch. That factory switch to Hellions right off the bat being pumped out. The Rotorine is being made for TLO, and Zergling speed is being researched, although he has a guess to actually get a lair, maybe. But still no lair. The creep spread is already almost outside his base. So it'll get here pretty soon, maybe around here pretty soon. But he might just get some scans around, just kill that. The Hellions are starting to move into TLO's base. They're still gonna take a while. No, they actually stopped at the watchtower. Now they're starting to progress over to his base. In the meantime, we do see that Empire Cast is started another expansion around a minute ago, and the armory started a couple seconds ago. He's probably gonna go for some mech style of build, considering the Hellions in the second factory and the armory. We're gonna see something maybe heavy Thors, which against roaches depends. If the Terran has too many tanks, the Terran has tanks instead of Thors. He has just main tank. You do not want to go roaches pretty much. The tanks do a lot of damage versus the roaches armored. And wow, it's already here. It's already out here and it's spreading like a beast. Queens are not being used for it though. He might just expand here pretty soon. Can he actually make an expansion here? Considering the creep tumors now they're positioned. The Hellbats are being made now that he has the army. He doesn't need nor want to research that. Maybe he does. I can't see the tech lab. Supply depot is starting to being shot down, but the Widow Mines, there are 4 Widow Mines right at the entrance, especially here. This entrance is really well protected versus any sort of harassment. Now the Widow Mines are gonna trigger, maybe. Yes, it did. It killed 1 roach and damaged a bit the others. Now we see the lair. The lair has been done for quite a while, I think. Now we do see that Empire Cast is starting to research 1 weapons for the factory units, while TLO is researching the 1 armor and the 1 attack in the 2 evolution chambers in his expansion. The creep spread is starting to get around here about this ramp with a little death sign up there. Restricted, or you will die by force of tanks. Now we do see that TLO is going to start moving for mutas. That's a bit of a bold move considering he's going for mech. Oh, we missed the battle here. A ton of Widow Mines, but the Overlord just triggered it, but they still died. You only want to trigger the mines if you're actually going to do something with those mines off. Now this Overseer is just piling up on energy. Now looking at the tank, oh, this is even better. 50 damage versus armored, while against any other type of unit, it's only 35, and that's a considerable amount of damage. The Widow Mine just burrow, and the Overseer is just gonna die instantly, even though he triggered 2 Widow Mines. Nothing is gonna come from it. Now here's the famous creep spread trick. He gets an Overlord and a Queen in the middle of the map, and the Overlord just generates a creep, and the Queen just plants the tumors, and it just starts from there, spreading all around the map. It's already so spread out. It's unbelievable the creep spread that TLO is doing at the moment. It is amazingly awesome. Now the Spire is done, and we're gonna see some mutas. 5 at the moment. He doesn't seem to have money for more. 7 now, and we are seeing a pretty heavy tank Hellbat army. The 3rd expansion for Empire Cast is done. He's moving it at the moment, but okay, he definitely cannot expand here. That is almost a certainty. Hive is already being built at the 11-minute mark, which is a stunning. It's amazing. And a 4th expansion being thrown down. Also the 5th here. Twin expansion is probably his, but the battle here, it was a semi-battle with the Overlord and the creep spread that started in the middle of nowhere. Some of it can get out. 1 creep tumor that can spread survived, so it can start everything back again. Now it's starting to saturate, send some drones here because this expansion is ready. He just keeps making mutas and a couple of roaches, not a lot. The mutas starting to kill this barracks. Here, this scouting barracks, and he sees that just Empire Cast, if the barracks is in the middle of the map, then he's not going for something bio. He's definitely going for something mech. Of course, this Hellbat army. The Hellbat army, 24 Hellbats, if I'm counting that right. 24 Hellbats. even though he doesn't have a ton of roaches. He just needs the Broodlords against that type of army. There's not a lot of tanks. There's not a lot of Thors. All there is Hellbats. So maybe even Mutas would do the job. But not that much, because he does have the Widow Mines, which just make Mutas a lot vulnerable, even with any type of upgrades, and the new buff it's got in Heart of the Storm. They regenerate life really quickly. Look at that, the life is regenerating so quickly. Look at that, soon enough it'll be full life. He did do a scan here, just try and kill those tumors, but still this creep threat is done. He does see that this expansion here, there's an expansion here for the Zerg, and TLO just takes the opportunity. He's gonna send the links here, but the Widow Mines are gonna take them all out. They're so spread out. He did some damage to that Hellbat. The upgrades are being researched to attack for Empire Cast. He currently has 1-1 versus TLO's 1-0, actually 1-1 for the Roaches, but no upgrades for the Broodlords and the Mutas. But the Mutas are getting ready to defend. He's still going to go for the third, which is awesomely saturated. Not actually, there's a lot of workers there. I think that's some kind of bug. Like, yeah, that's probably a bug. The Broodlords are not going to get there in time. The third is going to get destroyed, but the Zerglings are going to try and surround him, preventing him from escape. The tanks are going to get put up. Oh, but he just put himself in AoE damage. I think he did. Apparently not. He's actually in AoE, I think. The tanks just got surrounded here instantly, but the Hellbats are marching on into TLO's base, doing a ton of damage, killing a ton of workers and buildings. But the Broodlords are almost there, but they're just so slow compared to the Hellbats, which even though they are slow, they're slow. They're faster than Broodlords, but the Hellbats just die, all of them. And we do see that let's look at the unit loss tab, which is pretty similar, 7,000 versus 6,000. The battle just evened things out, maybe. Well, it was even for both. But the upgrades and the Vikings versus the Broodlords, not versus the Mutas. The Mutas and the Corruptors can probably defend against the Vikings. The expansion are being thrown down again, the third. But there's a Hellbat right here in the fourth base. Yeah, it's just gonna kill all the drones if there's no reinforcements, but there are reinforcements. But there's still not enough. The drones try to finish the job, and they almost died there in the process, but they did finish it off. Now TLO is gonna march right onto his base, killing those rocks first, trying to get some good positioning, some good everything, and he's just showing down this and this expansion. I think he had to kill Creep Tumor Dabber. He just marches onto his base. I think he was going to try to do mass planetary. The Vikings are just killing the Mutas, I mean the Broodlords, but the Mutas march in. They target down the Vikings as much as possible. The Corruptors try to corrupt the Thors. Everything in anti-air except these two Thors are dead. But there's a ton of Broodlords, and he cannot defend versus that. He almost got there with the Vikings, but the Mutas are still here. They're still killing the Thor that is being repaired by a ton of workers, but still not going to be enough to DPS for all these Mutas. It's too high. And the Thor dies, and there's nothing for anti-air. Those rocks apparently did not get destroyed. He was actually going for an orbital command, trying to expand a bit more. He just takes a chance. I'm going to march into his base with Hellbats, but there's just too many Mutas chasing them down. And I think that is a GG for Empire Cast. The Broodlords is still doing a bit of damage, and there are not many alive still, actually just these two. But he is making some more here. The Hellbat just got into his fourth, trying to kill that expansion quickly. But he might have killed that expansion, but it's not going to do much damage overall, considering that Empire Cast has 3 bases and not a lot of troops, considering there's a ton of Broodlords at the moment. The upgrades, the air defense upgrades, well, the upgrade is now done for armor. He has 1 armor in the air, and 2-0 for the Zerglings. And the Queens are here. They're probably going to do some transfuse action, maybe something else, but probably the transfuse action at that extra DPS he can get. The podcast is just trying to pump out some Hellbats and Thors, but at this moment there are just too many troops, too many Corruptors, too many Viking, too many Corruptors, too many Broodlords, too many Mutas to kill everything off instantly. Not instantly, but pretty decently done by TLO, the Common Air Style, and it's GG for Empire Cast. Victory by TLO, which just out macroed Empire Cast by a landslide and just had the right decisions and the right unit composition. As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all next time.